So welcome to this training where I'm going to give you 3 guaranteed ways to take your hobby business to earning you consistent 3k months. And oh, Amy's here. Thanks, Amy. Lovely to see you. I know other people are here. So just jump on and say hi, and just so I know who's there. And oh, Abigail's there. Brilliant, brilliant. Don't be shy. Just jump on in and say hi. We've got some people on the conference line. We've got Ron. We've got Vanessa. A few names that I don't recognise, so I haven't spoken to you before. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And I won't go through everyone's names, but yeah. Brilliant to have you here, and more people keep jumping on. So why am I doing this training? I'm passionate about helping people, helping entrepreneurs in particular, because I think we're a bit of a special breed, and I think we need a lot of help because it's a really, really hard job out there, isn't it? It's hard. So, but it doesn't have to be hard. It's not. I'm not saying it's always going to be easy and we can just manifest it and just kind of like breathe into it and it's all going to happen. I think mindset and all those things are, that's kind of probably about 80% of the job that we need to do. But we have to make sure that that gets us in the place where we're able to take action. So that is the key thing. Action, 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 but inspired action, confident action, not just crazy, scared, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing action that just sends you around the bend and you know, to break down and everything else. So and I've done that. I've done it very, very well, and it's affected my weight, my relationships, my sanity, and I don't want that to happen to you. And when I figured this out, everything became so much more easy. So I know a lot of you are going through that at the moment, because I know I'm going to have some clients on this. If they're not here now, they're going to be watching this, and also you guys who are new to me. So for those of you that haven't met me before, hello, I'm Liz. You've obviously conversed with me in some way, maybe on my email list or in my Facebook group. So first of all, a massive thank you to you. Thank you for turning up. Thank you for being here. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for continuing your journey as an entrepreneur, because it's people like you that light me up in the work that I do. So yeah, and as I said before, I think we're a special breed, and we're the one making, there's lots of other people doing amazing things, don't get me wrong, but we're the people that are really making a difference at, you know, I've got this, I was at an event recently, and someone said to the lady running it, look at all these people, look at them all, and every person here, if they just affect 1,000, every person we help affects 1,000 more people. And that's kind of a generalization, obviously. People like you guys are going to affect way more than 1,000 because of this very rule, and because you're actually going to affect one-to-one more than 1,000 people, or in a group more than 1,000 people, but directly more than 1,000 people. But indirectly, if every person let me get this straight, if every person we help directly then affects another 1,000 people, then that indirect impact that we're having is massive. So never underestimate the role that you play and the amazing gift that you are giving other people, whether that be in their business, in their life, in their relationships, in their health, in their well-being, in their weight, in their fitness, in their, you know, if you're helping someone to, I don't know, if you're cutting someone's hair, that can have a massive impact on them. Trust me, hair is a big thing. I've had to dye my hair this morning because it went orange, which I've actually, there's a funny point to that, which I will share later. But yeah, don't underestimate the power that you have, whatever you do. Never put yourself down. Never think that your role in the world isn't making a difference, because the tiniest role in the world makes a difference. Okay, so that's first of all what I wanted to share. Okay, so yeah, I'm passionate about helping you guys. That's why I'm doing this training. It's also, some of you have already signed up to my my challenge, which is on the 19th of June, and that is the secrets of the wealthy entrepreneur. Where over 4 days I'm going to take you from hobby business to creating a profitable business empire. So this is kind of like a pre-training warm-up to that challenge. If you want to join us in that challenge, that's absolutely fabulous. You don't have to opt in. It's going to be live in this group. I'm not charging for it. But if you want to actually join us and get on the email so you get the replays and it can all be in one place rather than having to search through the thread, then just shoot me an email and we can, we'll probably put a link here to sign up for it as well. But I'm not selling it. It's entirely up to you. If you like what you hear today, then you might want to expand on it in that challenge. Okay, so why have I picked this topic? So hobby business. I've been really quite shocked recently about the people I've had conversations with, the people I've signed up to work with me, the people are on the waiting list for my academy that's launching soon, the people in my mastermind even, the people on my sales course that I ran a couple of months ago. A lot of them are, I know there's people playing small, we all know that, but what really struck me was that these people are just really scared to make that first step. And if only they could make 3k a month, never mind the 5k and the 10k, then they could, you know, if that felt real to them, they could take those brave steps. Whereas I think for a lot of people, there's a lot of talk out there about 10k months and 5-figure months and 6-figure businesses. And when you're starting out, I remember because I was there not so long ago, when you're starting out, that feels so far out of reach. It's like, how can, you know, you just can't get your head around it, and you just feel like you failed before you even started. So often we don't actually get started. We don't take those big brave steps because we just kind of feel like we've already lost, and that breaks my heart. So I don't want that for you. I want you to be making those 3k months consistently. And, you know, for some people, well, that's 36k per annum, isn't it? Don't forget we've got to pay tax on that. That might be plenty for you, or that might be way not even near enough. You might be earning way more than that in your current corporate role, or, you know, it's just not it's not worth the hassle. Depending on where your money set point is, depending on how much value you put on things, depending on your lifestyle, your previous earnings, what your partner earns, your outgoings, all of those kinds of things. But regardless of all of that, we need to start somewhere. And if you can make those first 3k months and make them consistently, then you know you've got kind of like proof of concept. You know that what you're doing actually works. And then it's just a case of building it. And building it is often doing very similar things, but doing them better or bigger or in a slightly different way. But you've got the bedrock, and you've always got that benchmark, that 3k benchmark. So, and I think a lot of people are scared to say that they want to earn £100,000, or they want to do this, or they want to do that, or they say it, they play lip service to it, and it doesn't feel real. And what it actually does is make us really scared. And when we get into that way, that kind of mindset, it can really damage us. It stops us taking action. Because we're already triggered and outside of our comfort zone just by putting ourselves in that place, that can have massive impacts in terms of self-sabotage and how it affects us, the action we're able to take. Self-sabotage is something massive we're going to talk about today. So, oh, cool. So, Amy Walker, I do want to, but it's scary. Yeah, absolutely. It is scary. But actually, if we get to a place where it's not scary anymore, then we've won. So if I actually, like, I could have just called this one guaranteed way. If we weren't scared, we would do it. But it's not all about just not being scared. Being scared is the starter. That's the big thing. That's kind of like the umbrella. But actually, you need to get to a place where you're not scared consistently, so you can consistently take action. So you don't have this like rock and roll roller coaster or seesaw of, yeah, I'm really on it today, I'm really action orientated, and then a week later you're just like, oh my god, I'm wading through mud and I think I'm sinking. And actually I'd quite like to sink because then I wouldn't have to do anything. I could just lie around and sit in the sun or whatever. Speaking of which, it's boiling in here, so excuse me because I have to open a window. It's just without all my mics coming off. Oof, good, hopefully things won't start falling down from the wind. So yeah, so far guys, tell me your take on that. Does that resonate? Does it make sense? You don't need to share where you are now. I'm not interested in that. But you know, wherever you are, maybe you're already at 3K and you want to go further. But yeah, it's, you know, wherever you are, getting the foundation, whether it's 3K, 5K, or 10K, you know, absolutely is key. But when you're starting off, getting those 3K months is absolutely essential. So, okay. I am referring to my notes because if you know me, you know I like to, I get an idea and I want to share it, and I won't fit in everything that in the time we've got, which is already ticking on. So, let's go for it. So number one, step one. Let me ask you the primary reason. Oh, hi Stacey, lovely to have you here. The primary reason for being in business. And just type it in the comments. What's the primary reason that you are in business? Oh, Winnie, you are here. Fabulous. I know you got bumped off before. I'm sorry for that. Yeah, getting started in a new market is hard. It is about where to start, absolutely. Yeah, and that's when you need really focused marketing, isn't it? Okay, I'm just going to check the other live streams. Okay, so if you're listening in on the conference call, you can put in the Q&A your comments. Why are we in business? To impact others in a positive way. You know, I think you put yourself off there, but want to have a different career helping people. So it's always, for us guys, because we are all heart-centered entrepreneurs, it's because, isn't it, because we want to help people, because we want to make a difference. But there's something else that we need to do as well as that. I'm not taking away from that, but what else do we need to do? So support, cheerleading, yeah, lifting others up, helping them on their way, absolutely. But actually the primary reason, at least why we should be in business and not running a charity, is to make a profit. So it's to make sales, it's to have an income, but it's not just about having sales and an income. Because if your expenses are sky high, then you're not going to make a profit. So you're no better off making no money and having low expenses than you are making a massive income and having high expenses. Do you see what I mean? So the primary reason that we should be in business is to make profit. And already I know sometimes it's like, oh, that feels wrong. You know, it shouldn't be to make a profit. I'm here to help people. I'm here to make a difference. I'm here to change people's lives. Of course you are. But if you're not making a profit, you don't have a business. I hate to say it. I really hate to say that to you. I hate to break that to you if you hadn't realised that. But if you can't make a profit, how are you actually going to live and sustain yourself? Unless you have other income and you're financially independent and you don't need to, in which case, stop pretending it's a business and run a charity. Or just carry on as you are, if you're happy with that. But most of you probably aren't, else you wouldn't be here now. So Penny's here. Hi Penny, lovely to have you here. Yep, to obtain and retain customers, absolutely fantastic. I want to do something I enjoy and make a living from it. There is a fuzz in the background. I know, Amy, when I move around, I try and keep really still because I get so excited. I find I keep really still. I move my arms and my brows. So yes, I know that fuzz is really annoying. I was hoping it was just on my screen. It's on your screen as well, guys. So don't refresh or anything because it's obviously a glitch. So I apologise for that. But yes, so profit. We've got to make a profit, okay? And as Penny said, one of the ways to make a profit is to obtain and retain customers because they're the ones that give us money. But as I mentioned before, if our expenses are sky high, then it cancels the profit out, doesn't it? So, and it's really obvious, but we don't think of this. It's as obvious, and I know I'm going different colours, but that's because the sun is going in and out. It's very cloudy here, so I apologise for that as well. So the first thing that you need to do is get a grip We're back. That might happen a couple of times, but don't worry, it usually, touch wood, comes back pretty soon. And for those of you that have just joined, if it fails us completely, I'll either move downstairs closer to the box, and if that doesn't work, then I will post the link to the webinar where you can join. This time of day, that's the only problem, because everyone's on the internet, it is a bit iffy. So the first thing you need to do is get a grip of your finances. And this is a bit boring and a bit, but I'm all about money and making a difference. Money freedom, business success. You have to have money freedom emotionally. That's what I love doing. I love taking people through the processes that I use to give them that money freedom emotionally, to break the connection with their past programming, their limiting beliefs, their doubts around money, their I'm not good enough around money, their money is scary, money is bad, money makes people do bad things, you can't trust rich people, money is the root of all evil, which is a misquoted Bible term, misquoted. We've all grown up around that programming, and what I do is break people free from that, which is why I say money freedom. But I don't just do it emotionally, I do it on a practical level as well, through the business success you have, but also through really getting a grip of your finances. And even if you are a sole trader, you still have to do a tax return, okay? It's absolutely essential, so I'm not going to go into all that really is boring. But it's really essential that you have, as a minimum, a spreadsheet of date, info, what comes in, what goes out. And I also have a column where it's conformal too. So PayPal account, bank account, credit card, whatever. Excuse me 1 second. Okay, if you can start tracking where your money is coming from, you're going to see patterns. You're going to see, okay, when I go to that event, I get more of an income. Because we've kind of got this all in our head, but if it's written down, it becomes more real, and we can actually do stuff with it. We can make more informed decisions. You can look at your expenses and say, oh my goodness, this month I have spent more than I've earned. Ugh, that's not great, is it? Some months you will do that, especially when you're starting out, especially if you hire a coach, because coaches are expensive. They don't have to be massively expensive, depending on where you want to pitch it. But that I'm not saying don't invest in anything. Coaching is a massive thing that most people should invest in, not everyone. But what are you spending money on that you don't need to spend money on? Okay, so for example, I ran my 7 Steps to Sales Success course recently, and one guy, fabulous, really talented, amazing guy. He's got such an exciting business ahead of him. But his clients are corporate clients, so he needs to make those connections through his network, possibly maybe LinkedIn a bit. He was spending about over $200 or something, about £185 a month on Infusionsoft, which is an email delivery system, so like an automated email system. Just by stopping that, he didn't need it. He might need it eventually, but even when he grows, his clients aren't going to be on Infusionsoft. He doesn't need that. He could do with Aweber, that's like a tenth of the price of Infusionsoft. So just by making that decision, we saved him over I can't do the maths because my mind's gone blank, but over £2,000, isn't it? So 12 times 200, £2,400. Over the course of a year, that's enough to purchase a coaching program. That's enough to you could spend £185 a month on a VA to really help you grow your business. There's loads of things you could do with that money. So what I want you to do is, if you're not doing it already, track it and really look at where you're spending your money. I'm going to talk about networking later on. Now, networking is relatively inexpensive, but in terms of return on investment, and more return on investment in terms of time, that's something I want to discuss, but we'll do that later. So you've got to get a grip on that. And I had another lady who, unfortunately, wasn't tracking this, so she didn't know until the end of the year whether she'd made a profit or not. And you need to know this on a monthly basis, because if you don't know which way to steer and which way to go, and also you can't celebrate when you do have a good month. She might have had 4 good months, but 3 bad months. And if she can't see, okay, what was I doing in those good months and what was I doing in those bad months to make that difference, then she won't know what to do to change things. And also things like when you put your prices up, monitoring how that makes a difference. Okay, I've got less clients, but I'm actually charging more, so I've got more time to reinvest on maybe more products. All these things you can, looking at the finances is really, really essential. So let me know, give me some more comments, guys, some thumbs up as to whether that makes sense, if there's any questions on that, and if it, if you're going to make a change because of this, because I want this to be real. And you might be thinking, gosh, that's not going to get me to 3K, but I promise you, you won't be able to get to 3K, and certainly not beyond it, if you don't do this. Okay. You're going to grow, you're going to become a limited company probably, and you're going to have to do this. If you don't do it now, when you get to that stage, you'll stop because it will seem too scary. So do it now. And just while you're making those comments, please do comment, guys, so I know if I'm on track or not, if I'm giving you value, because that's what I want to do. Please do comment. But let me tell you about what happens if you don't get this sorted. So I used to coach with this lady in the US, amazing lady, multi-millionaire, and some of the girls in the group were about 300 plus businesses. And I can't believe it. I still can't believe this happened. But it happened to quite a few of them. Some of them got kicked out of the coaching course because they couldn't pay their coaching fees. They paid monthly. Some of them just forgot because it wasn't set up properly. So, it wasn't automated, all those things, which is really, really easy to set up. And some of them just ran out of money, even though they were going out saying, oh, I've got a £300,000 business. Actually, in terms of cash flow, they didn't have any money. And it just shocks me. So if you don't do this work now, in terms of the practical getting it sorted and getting it sorted in here, it's not going to go away. When you hit these bigger months, when you hit this bigger income, you don't suddenly let go of all this fear around money, or all this anxiety, or all this doubt or limitation or anything, or lack of ability, inability to take action. That's why there's really rich people out there that are really effed up around money, that are still in massive debt, even though they've got these like £1 million pay packets. That's why. Because if you don't get it sorted, look at lottery winners. They win the lottery, and then a few years later they've lost it all because they haven't got it in here, and they haven't practically applied what they need to apply to manage their money. So it's got to be done. So back to these people. One of them, I'm not smiling. It's awful, but I'm smiling because I still can't believe that this happened. One of them had £1 million tax bill, $1 million tax bill. Sorry. Can you imagine? How could they not know that was not? How could they not know that was coming? Like the lack of financial planning just flabbergasts me. And luckily enough, they're so good at what they do, they're able just to go out there, churn out a product and make loads of money pretty quickly to pay for it. But they didn't have the money sitting in a bank account to pay because the cash flow wasn't great in the business, because their expenses are massive because they're constantly reinvesting. So also take heart. A lot of these people saying, oh, I'm a 6-figure coach. Yeah, on paper, but actually what's in your bank account? So, take heart, because a lot of the hype out there isn't what it appears to be. I couldn't call myself a 6-figure coach for a long time, so I was like, well, okay, on paper I've got it, but actually my expenses say otherwise. And I can promise you, when I got a grip on my expenses and I stopped investing in DIY coaching programs, coaching for this, coaching for that. I joined a program that was going to teach me how to run half marathons. It's like, I already run marathons. Why am I signing up to a half marathon thing just on the basis it's going to make me consistent in my business? Because if I can train consistently, then I'm going to be consistent in my business. It's like, no, that doesn't really work for me. You know, just because I was in this mentality of I've got to learn, I've got to be told what to do because I don't know what I'm doing, the more information I can gather, the more summits I can go on, the more free webinars I can listen to. So I'm not just talking about money, but time as well. You know, I do advertise summits in the group because that's part of the deal I have to go on the summits. I'm not saying don't listen to the summits. Abigail did one recently, it was absolutely awesome. But, you know, I'm not saying listen to every single interview because you're going to be overwhelmed. If you're inspired, fantastic. But actually what I want you to start doing, and we'll come on to this in a minute, is thinking everything that you do, how is this actually impacting me, either getting more clients or making a profit? And therefore, if you're doing that, you're obviously making a difference to people. So don't forget what we were saying before about making a difference to people. Okay. Okay. Chris, you've got issues with the broadcast. Mine's okay, so it might be yours. Has anyone else got issues with the broadcast? I'm not seeing many comments, so maybe there are a few issues. Can someone comment now and just let me know? Okay, while we're doing that, I'm just going to check in to the webinar. Yeah, excellent. Makes sense. Really need to do this. Yeah, I'm in the business of helping people. It's hard sometimes to see how to make money. Yes, it feels wrong, almost guilt. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, totally agree. That's so true. Thank you for those comments, guys. There's a few more, but they're more relevant to what's about for. Okay, cool. Okay, now, good. It's back on. We're good to go on the Facebook live stream. Okay, so that is step one. Get a grip of your finances. Stop investing in stuff that you don't need to invest, like Infusionsoft that you're never going to use, like, you know, cheaper, you know, I'm thinking like 197, 497, maybe even 997 programs that actually, yes, they teach you a lot, but they don't show you how to implement things. Invest in something that's actually going to fit your needs, that you can actually get some hand-holding in terms of implementing what it is that you're learning. Because you're not at the stage now, you guys, and I know a lot of you I know on this call, none of you are at the stage where you need to learn more, you just need to do more. So you need help with implementation, not with the learning. Yes, we never stop learning, I'm not saying that at all. And we can never stop being inspired and learn new tricks and of the trade. But if we learn too much, we're just going to get overwhelmed and not being able to put it into practice. So pick a program that is right for you, with a coach that you trust, that you know, like and trust, not something that you get blown away from the marketing hype with promises to make you this, that and the other from relatively little work. Generally, they are not, they don't really do what they say they're going to do. Some do, but generally, you know what I'm saying. Okay, good. So step two is get to know your self-saboteur. So I'm smiling because this is such a massive one for me. Just it's huge, and I still do it. And it flabbergasts me that oh my God, have I not broken this habit yet? For goodness sake, just like let it go, Liz. Why are you still sabotaging yourself? But the biggest difference is that I know when I'm doing it now. So in the past, I would think that the world was against me. I think the universe was against me. My husband was stopping my success from happening because of his needs. My kids were literally, it was their fault that my business wasn't working because they have needs, because they're children. Obviously I didn't actually say that to them, but I'm being really honest here, that's sometimes how it felt. You know, just so many things like, I'm not good enough is the big one. I'm not good enough. Who am I to have a business like this? You know, self-sabotage is fed by any negativity that comes in. So what people say to you, what people, you know, even the raised eyebrows, or the, you know, someone glazing over if you're talking to them at an event or a networking meeting or something, all of that feeds into your self-sabotage, into your saboteur. And it's like, I'm not good enough, I'm not good at this, how am I ever going to make a go of this? Is this worth it? So I was constantly saying, is this really worth it? Is this lack of sleep worth it? Is the fact that I can't go on a 3-hour run once a week during the week, is that worth it? And of course I could, but I didn't think I could. So I had to change my language, and this is a big part of what helped me change, is to say, okay, I'm actually really lucky. And so, and I'm not saying lucky because I think luck is something you create your luck, you don't just get it handed to you. But I'm lucky that I've made the decision to have this business because it affords me what I want. And this goes into step 3 of knowing it. Step 3 is know it, own it, do it. So when you know what you really want and why you want it. So for most of you, as the comments at the beginning said, most of you want to do this because you want to make a difference, you want to help people. You want to do something you enjoy, something that lights you up as well as other people. So once I was really centered and grounded in my why, once I knew that it wasn't just a want, that I could do that and that I was doing it, then it was like, that is bigger, that outweighs this saboteur. My purpose is bigger than the saboteur that's trying to stop me, okay? So sometimes it's a case of sticking 2 fingers up at your saboteur and saying, no, I'm not going to destroy what I'm about to create before I've even created it, or I'm not about to destroy what I have created. So a massive thing for you, and this will resonate with you, Abigail, probably, might not, but probably will. So I had a friend who had a client, and she took her through a summit. She taught her how to do a summit. I've done summits, and actually that's how I met Abigail, who's on the line. And she put everything into the summit, and then post-summit she just crashed and burned because she hadn't figured out, she hadn't planned, which is another thing I'll come on to in step 3, she hadn't planned what her next steps were. She hadn't factored in the fact she would need a rest. She'd burnt out. She would. She was so exhausted and so overwhelmed, and reeling from the success of her summit, that then she went quiet and small. And this often happens with people doing their summits. They go quiet and small afterwards because they've interviewed all these rock stars, and then suddenly they're like, oh, but they're really successful. They're really good, and who am I? And now I've got to shift from host to expert myself, and now I've got to start promoting myself, not them, and now I've got to start selling, and it's all just too much, and it blows our mind. And so people go small and they go quiet, and then they miss the boat. They kind of miss that momentum that the summit has produced. And I talk on this actually in the interview that I'm doing with Mark Gugretti, the summit that got posted in the stream today. 10 steps to summit success, which I can give to you if you'd like that, just let me know. But yeah, so that's classic self-sabotage. So planning is a huge part of it, recognising that that's what's going on, recognising that the reason you're sabotaging is because you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. So I'm not going to go through this now because I'm doing this on my 4-day training, but this is my comfort zone model. And you basically, it says, okay, when you go outside of your comfort zone, there's different levels, and it triggers you, it triggers the fear, and it blows our mind, and it stops us from being small. It's my book, by the way, guys. Little plug there. So yeah, so recognise your self-saboteur. You know, recognise when you're making excuses. Recognise when you're saying that something is getting in the way, and or you know, you don't know what it's like, it's hard, this is hard, I've got this going on in my life, this going on in my life. You're always going to have other stuff to deal with in your life. You know, there's a client I have, and she'll know who she is when I talk about her. Actually, there's more than one of you, actually. And you've got massive things going on in your life. Has that held you back? No, because you're working through them. You won't let it get in your way. and you're not just ignoring them and trying to bulldoze your way through because you've tried that before and it hasn't worked. You're actually addressing what's in here, all the hurt and the upset and everything that's going on, and everything's going on in here that is trying to pull you back and stop you from taking the action that you know you need to take. And you're doing it. And that's what we need to do. So recognise it as self-sabotage, recognise that you're falling into victim mode, recognise that you're falling into excuse mode. I still do this. I'm not perfect. A few weeks ago, I wasn't feeling great. I think I had a virus or something. And I just like, for a few days, I was like, oh, is this really worth it? Like, it's such hard work. I'm exhausted. And I went into victim mode, and I even went into, oh, why can't have my redundancy payout been bigger and seen me through for a bit longer? Why couldn't my husband earn more money so I didn't have to work? And I went into victim mode, and from there, the only way you're going is down. So change your language and think, actually, I'm so lucky that I'm able to do this. I'm so lucky that I don't have to get on the train every day and go to work, especially at the moment. Who'd want to go to London at the moment? Not me, for sure. I'm so lucky that actually the pressure that I feel for my business is me, and I have complete control over it. Had an epiphany a while ago, and I just thought I was just as stressed when I was at work as I am now. The only difference is, back then, I had no control over it because I had a boss on my arse telling me what to do and pushing. I had so many deliverables, hundreds of people to look after. I worked in HR, and I was desperate to get that next promotion. And I wanted to get a pay rise and all those things. And I thought, oh, what I've got now is completely within my control. If I want to let my foot off the gas and just maintain for a while, that's absolutely fine, because I've set my business up so that I have regular income coming in every month. If I want to go full throttle and launch a new program, or get some more clients, or run a course, or get some more calls in the diary so I can sell, I can do that, but I don't have to. It's my choice. So when I realised that, and I was like, oh, I don't have my own boss, I don't have that guy on my case the whole time. I only have myself, and I'm being like my old boss. Why would I do that to myself? So you see how it just changes, and then you can feel really blessed and lucky that you've made this decision to do this awesome thing, to make a difference. And don't forget, it comes back to making a difference, and think of all the people that you do make a difference for. When you can feed into that energy, you see how my psychology has changed, because it just feels so great, doesn't it? Feel into the difference you make to people. Read the testimonials that people have written. Read the lovely emails that people have written to you. Ask them for testimonials that you can use. Let it feel good. Let it in, because so often we don't let it in. And going back to money, again, this doesn't go away when you get those bigger months, because I can promise you, when I hit my first 10k month, I was really excited for literally about, I don't think even half a day. I was immediately thinking, shit, how am I going to maintain that? How am I going to do that next month? Oh, I really want to share it with people, but I'm scared that they're going to judge me and they're going to think, oh, who does she think she is? And ask me the same questions. When I did share it with someone, they said, well, how are you going to do that next month? You know, and just immediately crushed down. So these things don't go away when you hit those bigger months. So if you can get the practices in place now to look after this part of you, this monkey mind, this saboteur, whatever you like to call it, this head shit, some people call it, if you can do that now, then you're setting yourself up for success in the future. So again, we're talking about building the foundations to take you further. Let's just check the time. Gosh. Okay, so on to the final step. So any questions on that? I'm not seeing much. Oh yes, proper mindset work, absolutely, Abigail. And that is exactly why I combine my business coaching with the mindset work. So I could do one or the other, but I combine them because I believe that's how you get amazing success. I don't want to do mindset work and then pass on someone else with business stuff, because that excites me as well. Likewise, I don't think the business stuff can be done without the mindset stuff. So that's why I just think love my business. So make sure that you love yours. Listen to that self-saboteur, identify it for what it is, and then you're able to blitz out the water. And it does, again, it comes back to deeper programming, it comes back to how you will talk around money. And so find a way, and I can help you with this obviously, or there's other resources you can use, but find a way to blitz through that. It's so important and it won't go away. Okay, so let's go back to step 3. My know it, own it, do it process. I've lost my notes. Here we go. So know it first of all. So basically this is getting clarity. Identify it. What, who, where and why. And we're not going to be able to go through all of this for you today, but it's, you know, this is going to get your creative juices flowing, get you thinking about this. And what I really urge you to do is join me for the challenge on the 19th, and just continue this. Okay, so very briefly, and I can give you these notes if someone wants to write the notes in the comments. That would be awesome, or just write them down in your paper. But you need to acknowledge where you are and why you're there. Okay, and I'm not saying in a bad way. Actually, it's also looking at the good stuff. So what is working? What is great about what you've already created? Think about where you've already come from and to, those steps you've already made. You've got qualified, you've got contacts, you've got clients, hopefully you've got some clients. You might not have any yet, and that's absolutely fine, but you know that you're set up and ready to go, and celebrate that. Look at what is working, and then later on we can build on that when we come to the do it point. Okay, what is it that you want? So we've established that although it feels yucky and you almost feel guilty about it, we need to make a profit, but we also want to create change and transformation and make a difference and all those amazing, lovely things. But what else do you want? Do you want recognition? Again, if you're looking for recognition and people to adore you, standing on a stage talking, if you're looking for that, a business isn't going to give that to you. It starts here with you, inside. You have to address that inside. And again, if you don't, it's never going to go away. It's not going to magically go away when you're on the stage with thousands of fans cheering your name. Look at the pop stars who are desperately unhappy. What more is there to be said on that? Why do you want it? So why is that change important to you? Why is making more money important to you? Why is making a difference important to you? If you're really clear on that, then you can come up with like a sort of why statement. When you're feeling really rubbish and you want to give up, you can tune back into that and go, no, that's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm doing it, and that's why I want to do it, and that's why I want to carry on. Make sure you do that. Okay. What's stopping you? So this is a question I use all the time, and it's yes, absolutely, I love that. You can't have a positive life with a negative mindset. Krisha, she's realising the mindset stuff is massive and definitely needs my help in this. Oh, well, you've got it, girl, and you're going to be amazing. Winnie, you can't change what happens to you, but you can change and control your reaction. Totally. And actually, I believe that you can control what happens to you. You can change what happens to you, because you can really see that even the most awful stuff that is thrown at you can actually be a positive. And I'll draw the line at like people dying on you and stuff. That's awful and obviously terrible. Sometimes there's no good that can come out of that. But I've known people that have had cancer and it has transformed their lives. I had a client that had cancer. She came to me because she was just so broken about it. And how was she going to carry on with her business? How was she going to do this? How was she going to do that? She changed in such a way that cancer has been her biggest blessing. And that's just phenomenal. I used to be in an abusive relationship, and it's made me into the person I am. That's one of the reasons I want to help people, because of the help that I got and the way I've helped myself and come through it and transformed into a totally different person. So, you know, the worst things can come, the most amazing things can come from the worst situations. Stacey says, yeah, absolutely. It's knowing why you want something. It's so important. And then coming on to the next question, what's stopping you? Let me just check the time. Okay. What is stopping you? So usually past failures, you need to find a way to let them go. That's what I do in my programs. Past programming, you need to find a way to reprogram your brain. But first of all, like this is the know it. This is the identifying what it is. So actually, okay, what is it? Do I have negative programming around money? Do I have a fear of success? Do I have a fear of failure? What am I scared of? What's stopping me? And just really get clear on that, because when you're clear, you can do something about it. I'm not saying just get clear on it and then forget about it. You do need to take action on it and put in place things to erase that. But it's absolutely essential that you're really clear on what it is. And you might not be clear, and that's okay. But knowing you're not clear is better than not even trying. Knowing you're not clear and working with someone who can make you clear is also a vitally important part of the process, if that's what you need, which a lot of people do. A lot of people, when I work with them and we go through the money programming stuff, they're so unaware that this was even playing the tiniest part in their lives. And it is in their lives, it's not just in their business. This reverberates through our entire lives, not just our businesses. Okay, what else is stopping me? Overwhelm. We'll come into that shortly. You know, there's so much that can stop you. I can't go through them all now, but make the list and have a look. Okay. And then we're going on to, so we've got know it, and we're coming on to own it. So step, well, this is step 3, but there's 3 parts to step 3. So own it, start living like it already is. So that's very easy for me to say, isn't it? Start walking around like you're already a £1 million coach. Make the decision and just make it happen. I love manifestation, I love law of attraction, I love positive energy, all of those things, as long as they are getting us in the zone to create, to take action. And often when we go too high, too soon, that's why I've picked 3K rather than 10K months as the title, it can just have the opposite effect. So it knocks us down rather than lifts us up. So step by step, you know, your affirmation can always change. It's not stuck in stone. It's not written in stone. So come up with something that feels really good for you. You know, when you say, oh, I'm a 10-figure coach or I'm a 6-figure coach, you're probably going to get a voice that says, no, you're not. No, that's not what your bank account says. Who are you trying to kid? Blah, blah, blah. If you say, I earn consistent 3K months, then that is more acceptable because you're closer to it. So start off small and you can grow. Okay. So when I started out, I just and own it. Say something like this aloud. So whatever resonates with you, you know, come up with a excuse me, with a sentence or two. And something like, I'm a kick-ass business coach who creates great transformation in my clients and gives them money freedom and business success. They hit their first 3K months and then go way beyond what they ever thought was possible, because that's exactly what I've done. And saying something like that just really lifts you up. It feeds into helping people. It feeds into finances. It's all really exciting. Okay, good. Again, ask you what's stopping me. Is it the fear of failure? Is it the fear of success? Other people's reactions, which we talked about before. How are they contributing to you in a negative way? Who might you need to distance yourself from? Who might you need to actually spend more time with? Our network is our net worth. Remember that. Robert Kiyosaki talks a lot about that in his book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. We are the sum of the 5 closest people we spend the most time with. So make sure you're spending time with good people, not really negative people. I have distanced myself from some of my friends since I started my business. The type of people who just want to slag mums off at school. They want to moan about things, themselves, their bodies, their husbands, their houses, things that, you know, just drag me down. And I come away from spending time with them feeling a bit rubbish. I don't want to spend time with those people. I'd rather spend time with fabulous people that lift me up, that make me feel great. And when you realise that a lot of those people are your clients, you're like, well, obviously I should get more clients then. I'm not saying make your clients your friends. You need to have another circle, obviously, But when you actually think, yeah, again, I'm lucky, I've got these amazing clients and they make me feel great, they're not a drain on my time, they're actually paying me money every month and I adore them, they lift me up because of their achievements, then, you know, that just totally turns it on its head, doesn't it? That reframing just makes you feel fantastic. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's a big plane going over, so that's the odd noise in the background if you can hear it. Okay, cool. So, how are we doing for time? We're almost up on the hour, aren't we? I'm going to do a separate training on networking because I really wanted to cover that because I think a lot of you are probably networking because that's generally what a lot of us do when we start out. And it's not that I'm against networking, but in a nutshell, what I would say is figure out if you're actually getting a good return on your investment in terms of networking. Not just money, but also time. So if you're spending 7 hours a week networking and only getting, if you're getting a client out of it, then maybe that's worth it, depending on what you're charging. But if it's not consistent, then, you know, just think about where you're spending your time. And I would do that for everything. So this is kind of like to wrap up this step and do it in terms of doing it, then, you know, do it, implement it, everything you're doing, make sure that, you know, ask yourself, how is this impacting my bottom line? How is this impacting me getting more clients? Me making more of a difference, if that helps. But if that resonates with you. How is this creating more profit in my company, more revenue? Whatever resonates with you. But remember, we need to make a profit. Okay? Abigail, you've got to go. Thank you very much. Oh, you're fabulous. Thank you. Such compliments. Cool. So, time and overwhelm. I had a massive thing on this in my coaching group yesterday. One of my new clients was having a bit of a breakdown over too much to do. She hadn't dropped what I'd asked her to drop. She has now, and she was really kind of like going through it. And remember, again, this comes back to the saboteur. When things are at their worst, you're usually just closest to a breakthrough. And when you think you can't cope with anymore, you really can. You'll realise you can. And that will probably mean letting some things go, you know, reaching out for more help, more support, even if that means support at home, so it frees you up to do more, even if it means support at home so you can just relax in the evenings and not have to start cleaning or ironing, whatever it might be. You know, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. So that's kind of like to wrap up. Do it, make it happen. Whatever is in your way in terms of time, overwhelm, work with someone, find an accountability partner, get the support that you need to help you through that. So often we resist doing that because we kind of feel like we become a bit martyrs to our business and we're like, I just need to sit down, I just need to get it done, I just need to go through this. You don't need to do it on your own, okay? This isn't a big plug for my coaching services. This is a plug to you. This is a push for you to get an accountability partner who you can really, really feel that with. You know, nothing replaces an accountability partner. My clients have accountability partners within our group because it adds another layer of support and obviously accountability to their work, to their lives even. So make sure you're doing that. On that note, community. Find a community. You know, to a certain extent, we've got one in this group, the Wealthy Entrepreneur Group, but it's a big group. To find one with maybe smaller numbers. A coaching program is often the way to do that, but it doesn't have to be. There are other groups out there. Create your own Facebook group, create your own group. You don't have to just follow somebody else all the time. But whatever you do, just make it happen. Basically know what's going on, own it, and then do something about it. Okay, information and knowledge without implementation is just more clutter and overwhelm in our already crazy busy minds and our inbox. So, you know, cut a lot of the stuff you're doing. Do an audit, like I said, to do with the finances in terms of income and outgoings. Do the same with your time. What am I spending my time on? And what is actually that costing me, and what is my benefit? So kind of like a cost analysis, cost benefit analysis. and make sure you're spending time on the right things and your money on the right things and not the wrong things. Okay, any questions? I'm just going to check the Q&A in the on the conference line in a second. I'm just checking the notes. I'm going to do another training on networking because I've got so much to say on networking. Good stuff, really good stuff. How to make it much more effective and better for you. I'm not just going to tell you not to do it. I love networking if it's right for you and your business. Cool. Brilliant. Thank you for those comments. I won't go through them because I know we're short of time. But yes, any last questions? Okay, so I hope you found this training useful. It's very hard in 1 hour to give you stuff that is implementable, but I hope that has been. So just to recap, the finances, incomings, outgoings, monitor, cut down the stuff you don't need to be spending on, invest in the stuff that you do. Number 2, self-sabotage. Get to know your saboteur. Get to have, I have an SOS sheet. If I'm really struggling, I look at my SOS sheet and I go, okay, this is what I need to do to pull myself out of the mud. And then step 3 was know it, own it, and do it, which was obviously a big thing, but I gave you a little taste of it. There's more to come in the 4-day challenge that I'm running on the 19th of June. I will put a link in the comments so you can sign up, so you can get the emails and not have to trawl through the feed, and so that they're all in one place, and you can keep that email and just have it to refer to in the future. But yeah, join us for that. I would love to hear your comments. I'm, as usual, apologise for any technical hitches that we've had, but yeah, it's been pretty awesome, hasn't it? I've loved it. So thank you guys, thank you for your wonderful comments, and have an awesome rest of the day. Take care, love you lots, and I will see you in here. I'll be doing some trainings in between now and the 19th, but the 19th is going to be really, really special, really fabulous training for you guys. 19th of June, where I'll be sharing with you the secrets of the wealthy entrepreneur. Over the 4 days, we're going to turn your hobby business into a profitable business empire that you'll love. So 3K months and beyond, absolutely within reach, absolutely yours. I want to help you get there. Have a fabulous day. Lots of love.